Mr. Wade here and Mrs. Crime. We are here at the Willamette Cemetery. Yes, Willamette Cemetery. We are here on a murder story. A murder story on Mr. John Best. Now, what happened to him? Stay tuned. Mr. Wade and Mrs. Crime is going to break it down to what happened to John Best. Stay tuned. So right now we are in the area of where Mr. John Best is located. We are in section EE1 for those who want to visit Mr. John Best. And this is the Willamette Cemetery out here in Portland, Oregon. So let's see if we can find his grave. You know, Mr. Wade is bad about graves, but let's see if we can find it. It's a wet day today, as usual out here in Portland, Oregon. But know that Mr. Crime, Mrs. Crime, Mr. Wade brings you guys the videos. As you see all the flags out here for the passed up Veterans Day, last Saturday. All respect to our veterans. Stay tuned for a lot more. Bye. Mr. Wade, so let's break it down to the story of what happened to Rick John Best. Now, it was a day that Rick John was going home after work to his family of 4 kids. Unfortunate story of what happened. Now, there is this guy. His last name is Christensen. Now, he's known to be a white supremacist out here in the Portland metro area. Now, this guy done his time in different circumstances of bad things, right? He been in prison, he been to jail, but he's out. He's been let out on different things that unfortunately some of us would not be let out on, but he was out. On this day, on what they call the MAX train out here in the Portland, Oregon area, he was on the train and he seen 2 black females that he thought was Muslim, right? So he was yelling at them, saying things to them that made 3 individuals respond. Rick Best was one of them. 2 other guys responded as well. The first guy, not Rick, their names are being posted on here as I speak of this bad situation. The second guy, not Rick, walks up to this guy, Christensen, and said, "Hey, stop it." Christensen hits him with a powerful hit, lays him out. A standby lady squats down with this guy, and she stays with him because I guess either he was struck with a knife or he was hit hard enough that he eventually died at the scene. Rick Best steps in. Rick Best tells him, "Hey, you guys need to go ahead and leave and let this crazy guy stop yelling at you." This guy looks at Rick and tells him to back off, I'm assuming. A third guy comes up and says, "Hey, you guys need to stop what's going on. You need to stop it. Leave these 2 ladies alone." This guy, Christian, keeps yelling at them. Racial slurs. He's letting it all loose on these 2 African-American females. I was saying black, but African-American females that he thought was Muslim. So as they kept doing that, Christian pulls out a knife, keeps it by his side. Everybody's standing guard on the Max train saying, what's going on? So he starts to attack Rick Best. The other guy is laying down on the floor, and the third guy that comes up. Now, the doors open up. Christian, the guy, the murderer, continuously stabs Rick Best and the two other guys. The third guy that ran up to the scene, he got away. He got stabbed, but he got away with wounds, and he went to the nearby hospital and made the report later on about what happened with the police to respond. Rick Best and the guy that was on the floor that was knocked down the first time, they both died on the scene with multiple stab wounds in the head, the neck, the body, the torso, whatever. This guy did it. Of course, Christian was captured for this murder of two, and he was sent to prison. Now, this ended up being a day of 3 individuals coming to the rescue. This is the grave of Ricky John Best, Sergeant, U.S. Army, Iraq, Afghanistan, February 7th, 1964 to May 26, 2017. Die with honor. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. And happy Veterans Day to Rick John Best, a hero of the United States and a hero in the unfortunate story that I've spoken of. This is Mr. Ricky John Best. Three heroic individuals that seen this guy yelling at 2 innocent African-American females on the Max train. Not bother nobody, but because this guy has a problem of racism and being notated as a white supremacist, decides to go off on them. Now, this wasn't his first time. He has done this stuff before, but he has got let out of jail and prison behind whatever. So Rick Best, the other guy, I put his name on here, and the third guy. The third guy got stabbed, but he got away. Not got away, but he got away and he lived to tell the story. The other two did not. The second guy that was knocked down the first time, he just a graduate at a college out here in Portland, Oregon. He was a good guy. His girlfriend talked about him well, his family, and even the family of John Best. So basically, the life was taken of a father of 4, a husband, who was getting off work, had his hands in the political field, was a veteran of the United States, a sergeant of the military, going home to his family. He's seen an innocent woman getting bothered by this guy, and he loses his life. Very heroic, but unfortunate circumstances. The best turnout to this situation, besides the lives being took from families, is that this guy is behind bars. He's in the prison system, and he no longer can do that again. But once again, these unfortunate things happen here and around the world. But yet we must pay attention to what goes on. We never know what could happen for us being heroic in a situation like that or others. Wow. To everyone out there watching our video right now, know that keep your head on a swerve. Pay attention to what's going on. Things like this happens on the daily. Unfortunate story for Mr. Ricky John Best and the 2 other guys. The 3rd guy, remember, he was stabbed. He's better now. He's helped to capture this guy and put him away. The 2nd guy and the 1st guy lost their lives. Wow. Stay tuned. Thank you to all our subscribers out there and our likes. Make sure you like us and subscribe to our page. Unfortunate story once again, but a story to you guys from Tombstone Whispers. Always breaking down the different murders and show you what's going on in this world today and the past. I'm Mr. Wade and
Mrs. Crime.
Thank you for all our subscribers, and stay tuned for a lot more from Tombstone Whispers.